Hi all, welcome to Diversified Finance. My name is Lakal. So today this is the traditional overall market outlook, where we're gonna discuss traditional markets like Dow Jones and Nasdaq, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, gold and silver. On weekly basis, we do this. Before I start, I just want to make sure none of this is financial advice, and I'm not your financial advisor. So please do your due diligence before you invest in, because I could be 100% wrong. So now that we got that out of the way, so let's quickly have a look at the markets. Let's start off from Dow Jones. Actually, let's start off from Nasdaq. And let me just share the screen right now. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the Nasdaq we're looking at right now. And let me just get rid of this Bollinger Band. Yeah, Bollinger Band, and let me get rid of the super trend. Yeah, oh, that's fine. Okay, so as we know, last Friday, like Friday night, the Nasdaq dropped about 2.72%, which is like a bigger correction. If you think about it, it lost about 385 points, and as we know, Nasdaq is a tech savvy sector. So whenever Nasdaq goes down, it tends to drag Bitcoin down with it, because it's more into like tech sector, Nasdaq. And we have seen like a correlation from a long time, from the past 5-6 years or so. Every time when Nasdaq goes down, it tends to drag Bitcoin down with it. So we've seen like a correlation. So the main reason being, as we all already know, the Fed said they're going to increase interest rates in this year. So raising interest rates not gonna be in favor with the speculators. So where with all these years, like they had cheap money to borrow, and they can use that on speculative assets, and then they can borrow cheap money when the interest rates are a lot lower. But when they say they're going to increase interest rate like 4 times this year, that means they tend to look for assets where they can use their cash or sell and go into USDT or USD, and have that USD like paying off 2%, rather than speculating that much of money on risky assets. Like so for example, stock market is risky, and more than that, Bitcoin is even riskier. So like normally on a stock market, we probably see 5 to 10% drop. Is considered like it's average, but when it comes to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, we've seen like 30, 40, even 50% corrections, right? So when they see uh, this sort of a path where central bank's gonna go towards like increasing interest rates. As we know, when US dollar goes up, it's not good for any other currencies either, because US dollar is being the reserve currency in the world. When US dollar goes up in value, the other currencies around the world like tend to go down in value, and then most countries, they borrow money in US dollar terms, and when US dollar goes up in value, when they keep on increasing interest rate, their currency compared to US dollar goes down in value as well. And when they have to pay their repayments get bigger compared to in their currencies. So this is not a good look. But Federal Reserve saying that they are trying to fight the inflation, that's why they're doing it. But even though, like in 2017, when they increased interest rates, like when they announce it for the first time, we tend to see like a bit of a correction, and then afterwards we've seen markets settle down a bit, and they considered it as like a good sign. Maybe they probably thought the economy is recovering. That's why the Federal Reserve feel comfortable to increase interest rates. So this is the correction we're seeing right now is just because Federal Reserve said that they're going to increase interest rate in the future, right? So two things can happen. Either they might not increase because they might feel like they cannot do it because market keep crashing down and they don't want to see that, or we might see a bit of a correction, probably 10 to 15% correction or so in the traditional markets like Dow Jones and Nasdaq, and then we might see it settle down a bit, and then they might take it as a good thing. So when the day when they increase interest rate, nothing might happen, right? Because markets tend to react to a news like beforehand, right? So on the day when they increase interest rate, market could go up a lot higher. So we have to wait and see what they would do. First thing is, can they increase interest rates, given that around the world, like central banks and then even a lot of countries, like if we look at the family unit, like they borrow so much of money as well. So increasing interest rates going to make it harder for everyone. So let's see what they would do. Yeah, so we have to weather this, like we have to go through this. It's not a good time, like for example, for someone who joined these markets, like specifically Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies last year, you probably like significantly down, right? If you've been buying Bitcoin since 2006, 17, 18, or 19, you kind of okay, right? You're not too, it's not too bad, but these times are not hard. But let's not forget, these are the times like that you would be able to make a lot of money in 6 to 12 months, right? I mean, it's not that this is not permanent. It's not that all these markets going to go down in value forever. Eventually, it'll recover and it'll go up in value. And if you buy right now, when it goes up, then you can probably sell for profit and take some profit out. So that's what we can do. I'll discuss further on this when it gets to Bitcoin, when we look at the Bitcoin price action. So this Nasdaq, it's not looking good. Today's Sunday, so probably by tomorrow or by midday Tuesday, we'll have a better idea of what's happening with the market. So whether we would see further correction, or we might find support somewhere over here. So so far for Nasdaq from the top, we are down about 15%. So once we are down more than 20%, they consider it as a bear market. So who knows, we might go down to maybe 18 to 19% and might recover, or maybe 20% and might recover. We have a bit of support somewhere over here around 13,035, somewhere over here. Yeah, eventually this is bit, I mean, if you look at the RSI, it's oversold at the moment. So we can expect some sort of a bounce. And then if you look, this is the daily chart. So in recent years, we haven't seen RSI at these levels, right? So it's dropped to about 25. So these oversold levels. So let's go further back and try to find out. Okay, so this is, yeah, so this is the COVID, is it the COVID dump? Yeah. So this is where in 2020, the COVID dump, where we saw Nasdaq drop to about like 25, RSI dropped to about 25. So we in RSI terms, right? This is the Nasdaq. RSI terms, we are gone back down to oversold levels compared to COVID-19, 2020 COVID drop, right? We are at those levels right now. So let me just make it a little bit bigger. As you can see, let's draw this line. So we are currently somewhere over here, which is quite similar to what we've seen in the, like RSI terms. oversold levels, where what we saw during COVID dump in 2020, March, February. So we are almost there. We just have a little bit. So maybe on Monday night we might drop a little bit on a little bit more. And eventually, like if you look at this one, see, this is the COVID dump. We had a look at this like many times, like even when it comes to Bitcoin. So these are oversold levels, and what happens after that? Nasdaq went back up and made a it went up back up to overbought levels and dropped somewhere over here, and then again we went back over to overbought levels. So it's not that it's going to stay in these oversold levels forever, right? It'll eventually recover and will go back up to the other side, right? So this is what it does. Like if you have a look at this RSI for Nasdaq, and this is quite common for any kind of market. It's like a zigzag. It goes down and up, down and up, right? And then down and up, and down and up. And now we're going down. And what could we expect next? Like it'll recover in few months, right? We need like a month or two. It'll just recover from these areas likewise, and then do something like that, stay here, go back above to that, and then eventually it'll probably hit like overbought levels. So if you are planning to buy like any tech stocks, right, this is a really good time for someone to accumulate for long term, right? And then I don't think we need to wait for that long, like maybe in 2-3 months, by March, April, we might see it back above these levels. Yeah, so even during like a massive bear market, like let's say Nasdaq and Dow Jones, we experience like massive crash. It's not going to go down in a straight line, right? So it'll first go down to oversold levels, and buyers will probably get back in and think, okay, this is over, and they push the price back up and go back to overbought levels, and then we see a bigger drop from there. So that's how it'll go. So given that we are mainly focused on cryptocurrencies, we can use this because it's important for us to look at Dow Jones and Nasdaq, because there's a relationship, right? There's a correlationship with this price action, what the market does. So whenever the market, traditional market goes up and down, it affects the Bitcoin price. So mainly we are focused on Bitcoin price. So it's very important for us to look at Nasdaq and Dow Jones and try to get an idea, like where it's heading. So right now, this is a good sign that we are in over sold levels. So it's clearly right here, similar to a COVID drop we had in 2020. So this is a good sign that probably looks as if we've seen like a bit of a bottom right now. Even the MACD dropped a lot compared to these levels, dropped a lot. So yeah, we are like by end of next week, I think we probably be able to find like a bottom. And then we might see trying to like most probably given that it dropped a lot, it'll probably try to go back above this 200-day moving average, which is like about 14,700. So it might probably go back up to 14,800 or so, and then we might see a bigger correction. So this could happen, right? So this comes only we can expect. And or if there's like a lot of, let's say, support or resistance somewhere away, he's probably trying to like go back above like these levels and come back up, because this, as you can see, it's a severe correction. It's like a straight line down. So we could expect like probably in a week or two will recover and find a bottom. So that's Nasdaq. And Dow Jones, it's not as bad as Nasdaq, but still it's also down as well. So might find support somewhere around these areas if it drops further. And if you look at the RSI, same thing, right? It just dips below like oversold levels. Maybe it might drop a little bit more. Probably Nasdaq is causing all this, so Nasdaq is dragging everything down with it. So as you can see, we are almost like at oversold levels. Like it doesn't mean that we're going to recover and go back up straight away. We might see further downside in the coming week or two. But from here onwards, like given that we are down so much, we can expect to see some kind of a bottoming pattern happening soon. And then
there's no buying signal on the chart yet, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is the daily chart. Yeah, so normally, see, like even if you look at over here, Dow Jones, right? It dropped. Let me just make it a little bigger. Just zoom out. Yeah, so as you can see here, there was a sell signal here, right here, and then it kept on dropping, right? Drop all the way back down to here. But after that, it just went back up, right? And we saw the buy signal probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days later. Probably after a week later, we've seen it. So normally these indicators are not perfect, right? I mean, no one knows, like, these indicators are like, not 100%, like maybe correct, like 65, 55 to 60% also. So when we see like severe correction like this, we're not going to see a buy signal right now, but we will see it once it recovers and go back above certain levels, as you can see here. So I mean, technically, if you look at it right now, the buy signal should be right here, isn't it? Like, it's pretty obvious. Like, I wish we've seen like buy signal right here, but that's not how the indicator works. Like, just want to make sure that we see more volume. RSI probably goes above like above certain area, like above 50 or so. Then we've seen like buy signal. Let's look at the RSI. So when we got the buy signal, RSI recovered all the way back up to like 50, above 50. That's when we seen like a buy signal, right? Where, like, we've seen MACD turn positive. So my point is, yes, what you said is correct, but if we wait for the buy signal, because these are trading tools, by that time we will probably, like, seen the market has recovered a lot. So I'm just trying to, like, trying to get an idea what's happening right now. So right now we can rely on the RSI because we are not trading or anything. We are in here like for long term. Yeah, so you have a point, but once we got the buy signal, market has recovered, significantly recovered. So we are right there at the moment. So I'm just trying to, like, what I believe, like, maybe like a little bit more down, and then we might recover, given that we are at oversold levels. So from here until we got the buy signal, market recovered about, like, 5%. Right? So this is 5% is a massive deal for Dow Jones. So that's Dow Jones and Nasdaq, and gold and silver. So yeah, so we got like a sell signal on the gold and silver ratio, meaning this is a good time for us to, it's going up to like oversold levels, gold and silver ratio. So when we see higher prices for this index, that's a good time for us to buy silver. When we see lower prices for this index, it's a good time to buy gold. So right now, it's a really good time for us to accumulate gold, meaning gold is performing right now. Gold is outperforming Bitcoin right now, because look at it, Bitcoin, we are having like 50% correction. So gold and silver, we just look at the ratio. So this area would have been like a really good time to buy silver, and right now around these areas it's a good time for us to buy gold, right? So I mentioned many times, I know most of you like probably don't really care about gold and silver, but we now understand the importance of gold and silver, right? So in our portfolio, we're supposed to have a diversified portfolio, 10 to 20, 30% in crypto, another 10 to 20, 30% in gold and silver, physical gold and silver, another 20, 30% in shares. So this is, we're supposed to have a diversified portfolio where we have few type of asset classes. So during this kind of a downturn, we don't need to worry too much, because we know that if you have everything on crypto, when crypto market is going down by 50, 60, 70%, your overall portfolio is down about like 60, 70%. But if you had some gold and silver, physical gold and silver, and gold mining shares on the side, you are doing okay at the moment. Even though the crypto market is down, gold and silver holding up really well. And I remember a few months ago, I discussed about lithium miners, and then because we are pushing towards electric cars, and electric cars need a lot of lithium, so lithium sector is doing up really well, and they already they're talking about uranium stocks because they're planning to have they're gonna have what is it nuclear. They're gonna planning to have nuclear energy as part of like renewable energy kind of category. It's not under there, but they're planning to go through it. Like EU or UK has already decided that they're going to include uranium, nuclear energy in the future, that they're going to use nuclear energy. So uranium sector is looking good. Lithium sector is looking good for the future. Lithium miners are looking good. So just like that, like, we cannot have 100% in cryptocurrencies, like, and then if that's the case right now, we are not having like, we are not going through a good time because the crypto market is Bitcoin is down about like 50%. That's why we need to have a diversified asset portfolio. And as you can see, like, the name of my YouTube channel is Diversified Finance. It's I named that for a reason. It's not that we just focus, like, on only one asset class. We need to have like a spread across few asset classes. So during this kind of a scenario, right, where we see stock market is down, but your physical assets are performing really well, like, and then when you hold physical asset with them, with miners, gold and silver, lithium miners, uranium miners, they are doing kind of okay even though the market is down. So that's why it's very important. And also I don't know, I mentioned this, like, not here, I guess, but we do have beta shares, like on ASX. There's something called BBOZ. So this is inversely correlated related to the share markets, meaning when share market goes down, these beta shares tend to go up in value. So it's like inverse, right? So I had bit of this in my portfolio just in case. It's something similar to bear BTC, right? You can buy bear BTC on FTX. So in this kind of scenario, when the price goes down, bear BTC, like, all the bear tokens tend to go up in value. So this is something we should consider in the future, right? If you feel like you're getting into the market at overbought territory, right? It's better to have bear tokens, which is like, inversely correlated to the market. So the market goes down, they tend to go up. So you kind of like, tend to have a bit of capital. If you had a bit of capital there, it probably go up in value when the market goes down, and you can sell that and use it to buy back more assets. So when it comes to ASX, there's BBOZ and BBUS. So BBOZ is inversely correlated to the market. So I had a lot of BBOZ sitting in my portfolio, and now the market has gone down. It has gone up in value, so I can sell a bit of that and use it to buy back more miners and invest into share market. We can do the same on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as well. Okay, and having said that, okay, let's look at the Bitcoin price action right now. So we discussed traditional markets, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and gold and silver. It can't go wrong. Always have some physical. I want to make sure that because of cryptocurrencies, people totally forgot about gold and silver. But before 2009, if there's like massive crash, the only go-to place would have been like gold and silver, right? So these cryptocurrencies, because there's higher beta where you make more money, people totally forgot about gold and silver and probably thought, okay, we can make 10x 20x from cryptocurrencies, why would we invest that in gold? But in this kind of scenario, we can understand right now, having that sort of assets, like, we might not give you more money like holding them, but it's just a peace of mind. The market goes down, you have that like physical asset, or you have those mining stocks, like, could kind of like save you, like, during this kind of a period. So next time when the cryptocurrency market goes up in value, when you take profit, don't forget to add gold and silver to your portfolio. And the whole point of doing this, like, to have a diversified portfolio, right? It's not that we're going to put all our money in cryptocurrencies, like, expecting like 10x. Like, when you take profit out of from these markets, we should go into gold and silver and make sure we have a diversified portfolio. So whatever goes wrong, you have some sort of a peace of mind, like, and one asset class might go down in value, at the same time the other asset class might not go up, and then then overall, when you look at your portfolio, you're not down so much. So that's the whole point. Having said that, okay, let's quickly look at the Bitcoin price. Okay, so I don't need to mention it's not looking good at the moment, but see, this is the daily chart. Look at the RSI, right? So I mean, from now on, what I realize, I'm just totally gonna focus on the RSI. There's no other indicator that would tell you whether the market is oversold or overbought, right? What happened? Like, okay, let me just zoom out a bit. So we know exactly what happened to us, right? So Bitcoin made a top, right? I know it's not a parabolic top. This is not like a parabolic top, like like a rounded top. It's not quite similar to what we've seen in 2017, where it just went like crazy up to like 20k from what, like 15, 10k, like to 20k in few days. So we haven't seen that, but still, this we hit like 65 and it went down to 30k and went back up, and then we're supposed to go down from here, right? This would have been our let me just let me use the fib retracement. So this is the fib retracement. Yeah, so 618. So this was our first top, which is like 65k, dropped to 9,000, went back up to 0.619, retracement, failed. It's supposed to go down, right? But what happened, unfortunately, these market movers, right? They are so smart, like they're a lot smarter than us. When it dropped 0.382, they just push it back higher, just above 65k, like fooling everyone, all of us, thinking that okay, it's going to go to 100k, right? So this is what happened to us. I mean, I remember like when I told you guys in my videos, like in these areas, I told you I'm totally out of the market. And this area, when Bitcoin dropped and then recovered, went back up to 52k, that's where we saw all coins tend to pump a lot, right? Lot higher. And then I was 85% out of the market. 85% I had USDT. I had about like 15% in Bitcoin. But this market fooled us. Like everyone, it fooled everyone. Most of the YouTubers, like you talk about Benjamin. A lot of people thought okay, that because it pushed just above 65k, we had that feeling. Oh, yeah, it's going to 100k, right? But what we didn't do at that time, right? We did not look at the RSI. This is where we got wrong. This is where we did not focus, right? If we looked at the RSI, right? So Bitcoin kept on dropping like that and then went up to 65k, dropped down to oversold levels, went back up to overbought levels, right? Somewhere over here when Bitcoin hit about like 42. And even this area is like still overbought, right? It's about like 70. This whole thing is overbought, right? This is oversold, overbought. So it hit 52, dropped back down, like slightly gone down to like oversold levels, went back up towards overbought. So this is our indication to sell, right? I mean, this is the time for us to sell. Like most of our portfolio we're supposed to sell at this level, and when it hit 77, overbought, like clearly overbought, right? It's not hiding anything, like it's in front of our face. Bitcoin prices went up to 66 in drop, and then it dropped back down and went back up to 60, like closer to 70, still overbought. That was our top. And then what happened, like it just kept on going down. So this is how they like fooled us, right? A lot of people, I mean, it doesn't matter how, you might think you've been in the market for some time. They just like, YouTube, when you hear YouTubers, and I remember I on my Zoom videos, I said like, I don't believe this rally is real because there's less volume, but nobody liked it, right? And then I kind of like thought, okay, like, I'm the only guy who's bearish, like, let's get back in. And then I did not buy much at these levels. I probably DCA during this area, I kept on DCAing, right? And I'm down to the last dollar as well. So I recently bought somewhere on this area. It could go down as well. So what fooled us is this rally right here from 29K up to 69, because it went just above 65K. Everyone thought, okay, 100K Bitcoin in December, and it did not happen, right? So this is normal, but there are some old coins, if you look at, right? If we did not, let's say we had no focus only on Bitcoin and Ethereum, if you looked at all the coins like Bitcoin Cash, Dash, LTC, they were just screaming like, that we are in a bear market, right? So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like, that this is gonna last for long. Like looking at the RSI right now, I mean, say, okay, let's change the topic. Look at the RSI right now. We just don't want to make you guys any upset or anything like that. So oversold, overbought, right? Within how many months, right? 20th of May, and then 20th of May oversold. We were in oversold levels, and 30th of July we went back up to overbought levels, right? Dropped back down on 20th of September, and they went back up to overbought levels, right? Since then we are going to like, severe like downtrend, and right now it's not looking too bad, right? We gone back down to oversold levels, and it looks like it's quickly like, recovered a bit, like, it's coming from oversold levels. And what can we expect right now? So let's focus on RSI mainly, like, two indicators, like, I'm going to focus myself. Fear and greed and the RSI would have helped us a lot, right? To find out whether this is top. I mean, it doesn't mean like, we trying to sell everything and get out of the market like totally, right? You could have sold like, 50% in this or 30% in this area. So that's what I'm going to do. Like right now, we need to accumulate for long term. If someone wants to sell and take some profit when it goes back up to overbought levels, right? This is the time to accumulate. I know, like, I mean, I'm down to my last USDC or USDT. Find some capital, like none of this financial advice, but find some capital. This is a very good opportunity, right? Whenever we see market has gone down so much, it's a great opportunity when nobody's buying, extreme fear down to like, 10 or 11 or whatever, extreme fear for today, yesterday, last week, and last month. Perfect time to get in. Like, it could go a lot further. This could happen, but still you are buying like, near the bottom. Like, it's not too bad. We can keep on DCAing. So let's say you have like, say, planning to invest 10,000. We can put like 2, 3, even 40%, 40% to 50% we can add right now, and we can have another 60 to 50 to 60% to add later on, and we can sit down and see what will happen, and then we can DCA along the way up. We can do that as well. If it goes up, it goes down further, we can do the same as well. But right now we are near the bottom, like, it's kind of bottoming. We've seen like a bottoming pattern, and last week I mentioned there's a chance that we could go back down to like 35, and it dropped to 35, and look at it, like, it recovered, like, it just recovered, and now it's like just hit like 36. So this is a good sign, it's recovering. But given that I just mentioned, like, we expect this RSI to go back up to extreme greed or overbought level, but when that happens, I'm not expecting 100K, right? This might go back up to maybe 55K to 60K, right? So let's do a fib analysis. and see where we are. Okay, so from the top, let's say this is the drop, like this is the bottom of the dump, right? Let's say this is the bottom and it's gonna reverse and gonna go back up. If that's the case, 0.618 is the 55k. So yes, people are saying we could go to like 25k, but not at this moment, right? Market cannot go down because it won't happen because we are in oversold levels, right? They need more liquidity. So what they might do, we might see it. They'll probably buy back around these levels, and we'll see Bitcoin goes up like that, back up to this level, right? 55. Even it could go up to closer to 60. Probably not. Probably, yeah, we might see go back up to 55k, and then we might see a bigger correction, right? Back down to 25 or something, if it's going to go there, right? And given that we are not expecting 100k Bitcoin in Q2, right? Or maybe in April or March or even June, July, we have to wait a little bit longer, right? Probably towards the end of this year. So we still have probably another 10 months to go until we see 8 to 9 months to go until we see 100k Bitcoin. So if that's the case, during that time, we'll see like, a bull trend, like, go back up, short-term bull trend. So we can call this like a short-term bear trend. And within that, let's say, okay, what was the worst case scenario? Let's say we are in a bear market, right? Let's say this is the bear market. Still, we'll see Bitcoin, like, going back up to 55,000 or 55,000, and people will start saying when we see Bitcoin at 55k, okay, looks like we are going to 100k, like, double the price from here. Yeah, we will be at 100k again. You must see a bigger correction, right? So what we're gonna do, right? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna accumulate right now, right? I've been accumulating, like, since December 4th, and if I can, I'll accumulate more in the coming week or so, and then I'm gonna sell a portion of that, like, regardless, right? Regardless what the YouTuber says, 100k, 200k, 500,000, I do not care. What we're gonna do, we're gonna sell a 30 to 40% of our portfolio when we see RSI back about 70 to like oversold, overbought to extreme greed levels, right? That's what we're going to do. So when we do that, I'll take some out and then I'll put it aside, right? And I'll keep that for a rainy day, right? Or I use it for something else, or I use that to buy gold and silver, do whatever. So in order to make profit at that time, we need to add to our portfolio right now, right? So it's a great opportunity. Everything is down, and look at it, like, right now, it kind of like recovered a bit, like, we can see 10% up, like, a little bit of, like, a little bit of green here and there. And given that I mentioned about bear tokens, right? BTC bull and any bull tokens got hammered, right? For example, ADA bull on FTX. So these are leverage tokens, right? When it goes down, it goes down so much. I mean, and when you make money, you will probably get, like, you can quickly make 10x, right? 5x, like, compared to these ones, because they're leverage tokens. But when it goes down, you lose your money a lot quicker as well. But right now because we are at oversold levels, all the bull tokens are really cheap at this time, including BTC bull and Ethereum bull. So you can add those ones as well. So you look at the most oversold ones, like, the whole cryptocurrency market is oversold, and at the same time, BTC bull tokens are even oversold, right? It's like extremely oversold because they are correlated to the market. When the market goes up, they tend to go up a lot higher. When the market goes down, bull tokens goes down a lot lower, and bear tokens goes up. So this is something we can add as well. So I've recently bought some bull USDT, which is right here on FTX, and I added some ETH bull as well. So I can make like a quick buck when the market recovers. I can make a quick buck, and as you can see, it's up 13% already, and BTC bull is up about 7%. So these are, we can use these sort of assets like, just to make a quick buck. So that's what I've done. And at the same time, I've recently bought some SLP, and I'm quite happy to see it's gone up. I've bought some around like 1.1%. And to give you like a bit of idea, right, SLP is down about 95% from its highs. So from 42 cents, it's down about 97%, right? I mean, you will not find anything cheaper than this, right? What else we could, I mean, it's down as if it's in front of your eyes, 97% down. These are bargains, because when it goes up to 10 cents, right, it dropped to like 1.1 cent. And when it goes up to 11 cents, right, that's 10x from here. So whatever you, let's say it goes up to like 55 cents or like 40 cents, and then 50 cents from now you can make easy like 4 to 5x gains. So these are really cheap tokens, and I've been buying this one from a long time, and I mentioned this many times. And Q20 dropped to $85. I did not buy at those levels. I was more focused on ETH bull and BTC bull. And any of these like Telcoin is really cheap at the moment. We can simply say, right, we are in a bigger altcoin bear market right now. So all coins are a lot cheaper compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum, because they've gone down so much. But when you add tokens, add money to a portfolio, make sure still, right, as a strategy, 40 to 50% in your portfolio in Bitcoin, 20 to 30% in Ethereum. So you got 70% in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and the other 30% in these altcoins. But right now, these altcoins are oversold. Bigger altcoin bear market. That's what we're seeing right now, looking at these tokens, right? And yeah, so it's a great opportunity. We are buying coins at these low RSI levels. Like, yes, some of the coins, like most of the coins, like, even the coins that are bought during the downtrend are still down on my portfolio, about like 30%. Some of them are down like 40%, but still I don't mind, because I bought them at like a lower level. So you add whatever you can right now. I'm telling you, it's a good opportunity. It's not going to stay in these levels forever, right? Eventually market will recover. People will forget about all these bearish news what we're hearing right now. And I heard like 12k, 25k. This is a good sign, right? So people are expecting a lot lower prices, right? And 100k is gone out of the window. That's a good thing. So nobody expect 100k even in this year right now. So people are totally got wrecked, and then they don't even want to talk about 100k. Good sign. This is really good sign. So if we want to see 100k, we don't want to hear people still expect to see 100k right now. The majority, when they don't want to see 100k and then they hate Bitcoin, that's when, like, the market will turn around and go back up, right? And then focus on, mainly I'm going to focus on, I'm not going to believe what the YouTuber's going to say in the future. I'm going to rely on RSI and fear and greed and few other indicators, right? That's all I'm gonna rely on the charts, right? Because if you listen to YouTubers and your best friend also, you cannot get like caught up in the middle of like a fire or so. So that's what happened to us. They push it back just above 65k to about 69, and they got all of us, and then they dump on us. That's what happened. So it's not like overall, like it's not overly, it's a bad situation right now, and right now it's a good time for us to accumulate. I'm quite happy to see a bit of green appearing on the watch list right now. Yeah, it's a good time to accumulate for long term. And whatever you buy right now, don't expect to like make 10x like in a couple of months. Like, it's not going to happen. Long term perspective, let's say, okay, you buy right now for 12 months, right? And if it goes back up to extreme greed levels, overbought levels in April, right, March, we simply sell like 30% and take out and put it aside. Like, we're not going to be too greedy, right? This is what we got to do. Okay, so that's it from my end at the moment. So any altcoins you look at, they like, you know, any kind of altcoins, like, you know, the quality altcoins, like from top 10, top 20, they're also down, like, you know, significantly down. I know you can close your eyes and put like, you know, 5,000, 5K and buy all these coins for long term. Bitcoin and Ethereum, another max to 5 to 8 tokens, right? Don't like, you know, we cannot buy like the whole market. So you pick the best projects, large cap, mid cap, micro cap, small cap, right? Likewise, you have like, you know, 2 each. So 2 each meaning large cap, mid cap, small cap, micro cap, and then you go for like good project. Try to allocate 30% of your portfolio, maybe like at least 10 to 20% of your portfolio for metaverse tokens, right? Because they are the future. Yeah, so great buying opportunity, right? And then let's see, like, you know, it's not going to stay in these levels forever. It's hopefully like, I mean, eventually the recover and go back a lot higher. Okay, do you guys have any questions? Okay, then. So yeah, so this is the end of today's Zoom session. I appreciate your participation. Yeah, and then we're gonna have a crypto, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and all coins watch, only those cryptocurrency watch on this coming Wednesday. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Have a good weekend, and then I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.